Salutations, friends and strangers of the interwebs. Welcome back to the channel, Stevie Wonder Woman. I am said Stevie. Maxace Sandstorm. Let's talk about it. This is one of the largest folding knives I've ever handled. It's the largest folding knife I've ever handled. Maybe only in comparison the custom Satu. So I guess when you're looking at them side by side, they are almost identical in size. But yeah, this is definitely, next to the Satu, the largest folder I have ever handled. This thing is a behemoth, and it's freaking gnarly. This is an integral, so it's just one piece handle construction, which is made out of titanium, and you get kind of this, on this model here, this is like the rock pattern, I think they called it. There are other versions of the Sandstorm. I think that there's a G10 liner lock version. Could be wrong. This, though, is the V2 titanium integral. And, like, this is, I think, overall 10 inches. If I could take a quick, well, let's just see here. I have a measuring tape handy that I can look. It's like 9 3/4 long, with a 4.5-inch blade. And I think we're like 3/4 of an inch thick on the stock, or on the thickness of the handle. It's a big, gnarly, burly folder. You are looking at a DLC coated M390 blade. You see on one side there is no badging, and on the other side you see Sandstorm. Right here on the underside of the blade tang, you see the steel marking M390. This is thumb stud only, and it's snappy. For this size blade, it's absolutely snappy. You don't have any problems whatsoever getting that blade to fly out of there. You can fail it, but it's not, you have to try to fail it. I'm barely giving this any go at all, and it's wanting to fly out of there. Can you reverse flick this or middle finger flick it? Yes, you can. Although that just, it doesn't feel natural to do that on this size of a knife. Ergos are there for me in my big ass mitts. You get there's no choil to choke up on, but I don't think you need that on this knife. Ergos are there. You got a nice kind of a thumb ramp there, and a little bit of jimping on the spine, right where you need it to, really bear down. And yeah, so this would absolutely be a very capable, hard use knife. I think that you could put this thing through a lot of work, and it's going to hold up for you. Now, there's been a couple of modifications done on this. So again, this is one of the knives that was in the SatuDave badass knife case that he sent me to check out. He didn't list that he did any modifications, but from the little bit that I do know about the Sandstorm, I've noticed a couple. One being, I believe that this pin back here is something that was originally able to be removed. So you could take this out, replace this stop pin right here that's screwed in on both sides, and you could put that in there and make it, basically turn it into a fixed blade. By also, I believe that this used to have a screw on here that would lock that the lock bar into place. So then you could use this as a fixed blade as well. Which, as a fixed blade, I mean, that thing would be gnarly as well. I guess you wouldn't need the pocket clip anymore. But if you were having to do, I think it was kind of a quick change setup. If you wanted to do any heavy batoning or anything with this, I guess that's what that would be for. And then I think I remember seeing, it's been a while since I watched it, but this used to be Brandon Thrasher's knife. Um, I think what Brandon said is that this is also something you could use to adjust the detent with. I'm not exactly sure, so correct me if I'm wrong on that, but that's definitely been replaced with just a standard Torx screw there, so there is no adjusting on that now. And if it was to dial in the detent, well, I think that Dave did that and dialed it in on his own. It's got a strong detent on it for sure. You kind of have this. You got like a detent ramp. You can feel it when you disengage. Which, by the way, very easy to access the lock bar on there. It wants to drop initially to the thumb, but then on its own, it kind of stops there, and then you can give it a little shake to close it all the way. However, it's good that this is not a guillotine. This 4.5-inch blade is so heavy that I would not want this thing to just come crashing down. There's one thing between a dropper that might nick your nail. This blade is so heavy, I think that it would do a lot more damage. So this isn't a knife that I would, if I owned, I would try to be fidgeting with and, constant, this would not be a driving and flicking knife for Javon. Let's just say that. I think that the possibilities of this coming down on you and actually taking your thumb off are there. But overall, for what it is, I think it's done really well. These thumb studs have some texturing to them that I think work really well. Again, I don't have any problems accessing my thumb locks into the groove right there very easily. I'm able to give it thumb deploy. And like I said, if you wanted to, you can middle finger flick this. I don't know why. I mean, if that's just a preferred method of deployment, you absolutely could. But to me, again, this isn't this is a very purposeful knife and not a fidget toy. Although I guess if you're into fidgeting with big things, might not be a problem for you. It does have kind of this fuller on here as well. It's not very useful. I think it's more there for the aesthetics. But the pocket clip on this is good. You get a nice, let's see here. If it even fits inside this back pocket hank roll that I got from Steel Capital, it might be a little too wide for it. It is. It doesn't really, well, no, I guess it'll fit into there. But, no, it's too big for this. I did pocket this a couple times when I was out with it a couple weeks ago, and I think that's also one of the things that replacing this piece that SatuDave did, I think that was another kind of a design flaw, is that it kind of lines up with the pocket clip, so it was kind of in the way of getting it in and out of pocket. This thing, for me, as is in this configuration, did go in and out of pocket just fine. But it's big and it's bulky. You feel this in your pocket, and you feel it in your hand. I don't know what the weight is on this. I'm not gonna, get into the specs on that, but this is a very substantial knife. You feel this in your hand. You feel this in your pocket. You know that it's there. But that being said, I wear a good belt and suspenders, so it's not like it was weighing me down too bad. But definitely, you could feel this in your pocket. So, but if you have hard use, if you want a big ass hard use folder, I think that these just, they recently did another drop on these. Sorry, Snuzz, if you're watching this right now, I hope I'm not, I'm not egging you on. Nuz was taking a look at one of these, and yeah, that's why I knew that they were recently available. I forget where they just came out on, but it's an expensive knife. This is excess of $400. It's very, very much worth the $400 though for what you're getting. Integral, titanium M390 blade, and just, I mean, this is an overbuilt, purposeful knife. It's just, it's absolutely gnarly. I have no use for a knife of this size. This is out of my comfort range for a knife, but it's a fantastic knife. If this is something that you are interested in, if this is more your jam, a large folder, I think that you would absolutely love this. How does it compare to the other? Like I said, I'm pretty sure they make a G10 version of this. How does this compare to those? I don't know. I think Mattisfaction said he might have one. Did you say that, Mattisfaction? Maybe you could chime in. Well, I guess you wouldn't have a comparison to this one though. But either way, I would recommend this knife if you are looking for something in this category and you can get your hands on one. I don't think that this would disappoint you. Everything about this knife is done well. Now, is that adjusting piece right there that gets in the way of the pocket clip? Is that an issue? That I can't speak to because I'm not handling one with it. But overall, very, very gnarly in a good way. Big ass folder. So, once again, thank you to SatuDave for letting me check this one out. I have one more video to film that, again, was I had already filmed one, but I couldn't use it. It just went to hell. So I got one final video to film, and then I've gone through the entire case of knives. And that last one is the one that you saw me pull out earlier. I will be doing, there's really nothing to review about this knife, but it's kind of the crescendo of the case that Dave sent to me, and so I want to give this its own video as well. So expect to see that coming from me here shortly. Actually, I might go ahead and film this as soon as I'm done with uploading this one. But until then, appreciate you guys checking out the video. Let me know what your thoughts on it are, and yeah, until the next one, deuces.